Good afternoon, good day, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with HeroesCCL week number 2, day number 2. My name is Bahamut, and like every weekend and every wonderful day, I'm joined by Grubby and Justin. And today, Justin, I gotta ask, how you feeling? Are you ready for some amazing Heroes of the Storm action?
I'm excited. Yesterday's games were real good, so I'm hoping that we get some good games today as well. I think we're gonna have a bit of a fiesta, I think, in our first match, so I'm extra excited for that.
Oh, Grubby, you've been witnessing different sort of fiestas in Age of Empires. Are you ready for some Heroes of the Storm fiestas?
Yeah, way too many units in Age of Empires. Let's go back down to just 10 units, 5-on-5, one per. We had a really good series yesterday, even though we only had one. We've got 2 series, luckily, today. And Justin, what's this about fiestas coming up? What did you hear?
Just that our first matchup, I think, is both these teams are a little bit crazy in their games. We had reverse sweep in the first match, and then in the other match, it was kind of getting dominated by HeroesHearth. So I'm really curious to see which one of these two teams is going to be able to come out on top. I'm pretty excited about this, even if it's not. I don't think either of these teams right now are kind of the fan favorites, so it's going to be exciting games at least.
Well, we can break down what the games are, the standings, and all that in just a little bit. Let's go ahead and look at the prize pool and see how things have kind of come along since yesterday. As always, we like to break it down for you that 60% of the donations will be going to the players. You can see how that 60% breaks down, with first place taking 35%. Second place taking 20%, so on and so forth. On the right side, we always like to be transparent and let you all know that the other 40% does come back to Wisdom to cover league expenses and create amazing graphics and, just amazing broadcasts for you all at home. And because of your support, we have hit, I believe, over $3,000 for HeroesCCL, actually $3,040. And yesterday, well, first off, yeah, if you want to donate to the prize pool, !prize pool to get yourself over to the Matcherino page. But because you were all so amazing yesterday, I did hint at a possibility of a treat for a friend. So I have got some treats right here. If you could lay down, little bud.
For me?
We got Bandit. Oh, I'm sorry, Grubby. I'm sorry. Bandit, can you lay down, bud? All the way. Good boy. We got a treat for the good boy Bandit. There you go. Thank you all for all of the support. We really, really do appreciate it. He is sometimes very weird about the treats. He gets a little stage fright when it comes to CCL. You're okay, bud. Go for it. Oh, you know what it is? It might be one of these things where he actually thinks, can I get over shape?
He needs to work for it first.
He honestly does, because look at him go. Yeah. Look at him go. He's just like I gotta at least give you something here for this. So we want to thank you all at home. Sorry, trying to make sure I can get him on screen for you all, because he is a very dark dog. But thank you everyone for supporting HeroesCCL. Thank you for pushing that prize pool over $3,000. And I'm sure there are other incentives we can work for and work towards in the future for maybe getting some Springy on screen, or maybe even Logan as well. So Thank you all once again for all of the support. But with prizing behind us, let's talk about the standings for our HeroesCCL League right now. We did have a game yesterday and some results yesterday that pushed HeroesHearth Esports into that 2-0 slot. But also, Justin, that 30K versus Oxygen game was... Yes, it was a 3-1, but it was still a wonderful series.
Yeah, that was a great series yesterday. I was really glad to see that both teams had really good strategies prepared. Oxygen, I was really expecting them to at least bring it to a game 5, but the games were close, so it wasn't like it was a blowout or anything. And 30K and Oxygen, I think, are playing around in the standings about where they belong. I think 30K and HeroesHearth in first is really good. I think that's indicative of their performances so far. Definitely expecting them to carry it out like this.
Now, when we look at what we're going to be seeing today, Grubby, what's your excitement level for these matches?
Yeah, Diamond Hands, Granit Gaming, I would say normally Diamond Hands is going to be the favorite with how they availed themselves into Granit Gaming. So I think it's going to be a good match to see if Diamond Hands, nearly beating Simplicity, can actually convert that to a very solid result. And I'd say anything but a 3-1 for them would be a disappointment after coming off the mountain of nearly toppling Simplicity. In terms of Chili Mountain versus Simplicity, Simplicity will need to be a little bit more solid than they were in the first 2 maps last week. But they really rallied and they look strong. And because of that, and Chili Mountain's kind of disappointing performance, I expect Simplicity to be the favorite there. My excitement level is for any kind of surprises that the underdog teams might be trying to bring in here to try and topple the odds.
Yeah, sometimes you can pull out your Murky to proxy the bottom wave on Curse. You could grab your Cho'Gall with a Medivh Ana and kind of do sort of a new age Juice Pirates, if you will. And Grubby, I have seen this. It does absolutely work. But maybe one day we'll see that in CCL. We've got a lot of great action for you all. And our first best of 5 of the day will be that Diamond Hands versus Granit Gaming matchup. And before we get into our maps and all that good stuff, we want to shout out our sponsor, Next Level Gaming, for joining us for HeroesCCL Season 3. You can use !NXT in chat to find out more information about the awesome Florida Esports Center that is also hosting watch parties of HeroesCCL on Saturday and Sunday. So if you live nearby or feel like traveling to the Esports Center, Next Level Gaming has you covered for all of the HeroesCCL action. And if you play Heroes the Storm at Next Level Gaming, you can play all the heroes. They're all unlocked, but you also get a little extra experience on your account, which is great for leveling up your Valiers, right, Justin?
Yeah, Valir in particular. It's extra good for that. Murky is also going to be available, Cho and Gall. The options are limitless.
Okay, so, the options are limitless, but what isn't limitless is the rosters that we have, because these are locked in and they are set, and on the left-hand side for Diamond Hands, we'll have Caesar Salad, Got Filth, Kelsier, Nintori, Valimar, and June. Want to get your thoughts on this roster for Diamond Hands, Grubby?
Yeah, Caesar Salad, Got Filth, Kelsier. Kelsier new, but he really impressed me last week. I know you guys probably knew him, but that was the first time I got to see him play. And it's an important role. Both Godfilth and Kelsier did fantastic on the ranged assassin role. And Diamond Hands is looking pretty good. I like the roster a lot. I think the current power level seems to be about middle of the pack.
All right. On the opposing side for Granite Gaming, Justin, what are your thoughts on who are we going to be seeing?
We've got Henning, Skog, Swamp Grotto, Tai, X-Ray, and Gia. Last week they didn't perform the best, but I think this is going to be a good matchup between these two teams, and this is going to be probably a pretty important match for both of them. Both of them right now are playing near the bottom of the standings, so any match win is very, very important as the season progresses. So especially if the season is fresh, it's pretty early on in the season, both of these teams are going to be in a position where they're trying to kind of break away from the rest of the pack, since they're kind of on the bottom right now. With X-Ray and Gia being picked up, I think that breathes a lot of life into Granite. So my expectations of Granite are up quite a bit from last week. I think they were a little bit disjointed. I'm expecting them to perform quite a bit better today, though.
As you had mentioned, Justin, both these teams took a loss last week. It was a 2-3 loss for the members of Diamond Hands up against Simplicity, and Granite Gaming lost to 30K in an 0-3 fashion. So definitely one of these teams will be moving on up in the standings, and we'll find out which team that'll be, because we are ready to go and find out where we're going to head into for map number 1 of our first best of 5 of the day. And to get you all caught up as to how we got to Battlefield of Eternity, chosen by Granite Gaming, the members of Diamond Hands opted for first pick priority, banning out Volskaya Foundry, and Granite Gaming getting rid of Alterac Pass. A lot of macro maps being banned out, and starting on a more micro-based map, Grubby. Interesting call for me, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, Granite Gaming, their team comps didn't sound super fluid, not on the level of 30K, and that's something that can take a lot of practice and togetherness. You need to actually line up your schedules and get that scrim practice in. But when you are like that, macro calls can be a little bit tougher, so just keeping it small for a team that generally likes to fight and have pretty good fighting mechanics, I think it remains the simple and the common choice for teams like this. I think Granite has always liked kind of the smaller maps.
That's a nice start. I like the Battlefield of Eternity map. I mean, it's a tried and true map. It's a really, really good place to really test the enemy on camp timings, rotations. Team fighting is a big factor in all of this as well. But also want to get your thoughts going into this on the map pick, Justin, as well. Excuse me.
Yeah, so yesterday we saw a lot of priority on the one-shot type compositions, so I'm going to be curious to see whether we see that again. Li Ming was really important in our match yesterday. I'm not sure if she will be a priority for these teams, but this is one of her better maps. Li Ming and Hanzo are kind of the standout poke heroes on this map. That being said, Vala in the first week was extremely prevalent, being first pick banned in pretty much every single game, and we didn't see her at all yesterday. So we'll see if maybe there's some stylistic differences between these teams and the teams we saw yesterday. Also, Brightwing and Stukov, I kind of hinted on that. That became pretty evident in our series yesterday that those two heroes as supports just kind of stand out above the rest. So we'll be looking to see priority on either pick banning one of those.
I do like the Vala ban going into Battlefield, but I feel like the thing that we have to consider, Grubby, is the Lunara. She's had so much prowess at the start of CCL Season 3.
Yeah, Lunara, Vala, and Li Ming and Hanzo are the top 4 assassins on this map. On other maps, it's still Lunara, so she's super generally useful. Definitely agree with that. Especially the Wisp. I think that's the best part about her on this map, actually. The Sentinel Wisp just creates this chokehold of information that covers more than half the middle of the map.
The nice thing about that too is, like, I've seen a lot of Lunaras utilize it on Tomb of the Spider Queen or Infernal Shrines, and you can basically see on Tomb the top to mid rotation, or on Infernal Shrines you can literally see the bottom to mid rotation. So a lot of information being gained from that. But we are through our ban phase, and I'm curious to see what Diamond Hands is going to be first picking Justing.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see either the Li Ming Hanzo or potentially there's the Dahaka. Teams still prioritizing the Dahaka very, very heavily, even on a map that doesn't cater towards the macro strategy as much, since we're on Battlefield of Eternity. It's interesting to see that, but Nintori is a great offlaner. He was the literal first pick in the draft for a reason. So getting him on something that he's comfort on, I do like that. Blaze Li Ming on the side of Granit, I really, really like that opener. Blaze provides the safeguarding, which is extra important when Brightwing and Stukov are taken off the table. The bunker that Blaze provides that extra layer of safety. I wouldn't be surprised to see Diamond Hands potentially pick up the Hanzo here. If they don't, they're going to have to go for a more all-in type strategy with lacking that poke.
Ooh, and Lucio coming in. We didn't see any Lucio yesterday, Grubby.
Correct.
Wondering why.
We only had one series. Drops the likelihood in half.
Sorry, I should have phrased my question better. I'm curious why we're seeing Lucio being prioritized.
I'm going for the low-hanging fruits. It's super valid to bring up. And, Stukov, Brightwing are gone. So that leaves us with Anduin, who's more defensive. And just as Justin was talking about, are we going to be more aggressive? Do we want any element of poke with Hanzo? I think that kind of answers it. Lucio and Nubarak Dahaka are aggressive. We aren't necessarily, though he could still come, going to rely on Hanzo. Also, he's banned, right? But the Lucio is more aggressive than Anduin. Which other supports are there? Karazim, Uther. Again, Uther is not as aggressive. He enables one person to be aggressive.
There's that Lunara. I do like the idea of a Karazim to kind of dive and punch his way through Battlefield. We've seen it in the past from BBJ is one of the ones that actually comes to mind that I've seen him play it. But this Anduin Lunara this is a really, really terrifying composition, damage-wise, and setup from Granit Gaming.
Yeah, super much damage.
Yeah, this is gross on the side of Granit right now. I think what they have is super, super strong. Getting Anduin Lunara on the 3-4 here with the support bans earlier is really, really strong. Genji Sylvanas, it's cool to see Genji coming back into the meta a bit.
Yeah.
Something to note with them having the Haka and a Nubarak, they have the Isolation and the Cocoon. So they're looking to kind of it caters towards the dive strategy where you just crowd control the people who can save. So in this case, it'll be Blaze and Anduin. That being said, that takes quite a bit of coordination to be able to use Isolation and Cocoon and then immediately engage. So I think it's easier to do what Granit's doing. I love ETC here. I really, really like that pick. If you have the stronger ranged damage dealers, they have Li Ming and Lunara. If they're able to just hit the front line, they will always be winning, and that means that ETC gets to play a more passive style where he just knocks people back with his subwoofer on his W. Being able to not rely on sliding in to get value on ETC is very, very strong.
Well, I'm leaning into Diamond Hands a little bit in this one, but as we're loading in, I do want to kind of get your thoughts who could potentially win this one, because there's a lot of answer from the side of Granit Gaming here.
So I think with both teams losing last week, it's hard to tell which team is actually going to be better. So I can't say whether one team will come out and just be a lot stronger than the other team, just playing better. That being said, I think that Granit Gaming's composition is much easier to play. I think it's significantly more straightforward. Diamond Hands has the tools, but they really need their level 10s to come online before they can really start looking for anything aggressive. And BOE is a very snowbally map. So Granite has the bunker and the Anduin pull and the better front to back playstyle. So I'm gonna give it to Granite. They also have the poke. I think their composition is quite a bit easier to play. That being said, either of these teams could just skill difference the other one. So we'll have to see.
That's kind of the thing that I was thinking about too. I'm just like, it's such a hard way to kind of look at both sides, because Grubby yesterday was, breaking things down on like a scale of 1 to 10 of execution or ease of execution.
Yeah.
And I agree. It's a lot easier for Granite Gaming to execute their comp, but the skill matchup, the prowess and the execution itself is going to be the biggest question that needs to be answered. I got faith in Diamond Hands. I think they're a really strong team going into this. We're about to get into Battlefield of Eternity in just a second. The game just wants to hear all of our deep discussion and thoughts before we get into our first map of the day. But it is really exciting, and I do agree. I'm curious though if ETC is a mosh pit ETC, or is this a stage dive to get in the backline, Justin? While I have you,
Stage dive did get buffed, so I think that there's really no wrong situation for stage dive now.
Okay.
Mosh pit really hard to use into Lucio, and especially. So it could go either way. It depends how confident he is in his abilities to track the interrupts.
Alrighty. Well, thank you so much, Justin, for the breakdown, the analysis. We'll see you after map number 1. And we are in the mix, ladies and gentlemen. We are here into Battlefield of Eternity, map number 1, and our first best of 5 of the day. Diamond Hands in the blue, Nentori to play Dahaka, Kelsier on Sylvanas, Valimor on the Lucio, Caesar Salad on the Anubrak, and Gotfilth playing the Genji. Over in the Granite Gaming side of things, we're going to be looking at Li Ming, played by Gia, X-Ray on the ETC, Henning playing the Anduin, Swamp Grata on the Blaze, and we see Lunara to be played by Scoob. Grubby, we've let you stew for a little bit getting into this first map, and I want to hear your thoughts and analysis, maybe even who you think might win.
Yeah, I think for the first map in the best of 5, it's so important to play something simpler to play. Granite Gaming has that. I'm just going to give them a small edge in this particular game. Genji, Lucio aren't as effortless value, aren't as just let's click and go. And you need to have excellent execution to make them work. Yesterday, Genji lost on this map. It was still very well performed by the losing team against 30k, but he still lost. And Blaze is sick on this map. So yeah, I think Granite a little bit better, but it's all possible. We're not talking about a gimped, like a bad draft here for Diamond Hands at all.
Absolutely, I would 100% agree. I think it's just going to come down to the execution, and right now they're trying to execute X-Ray, but he is going to get the leap of faith from Henning, and no first blood will be achieved. And a good setup right now, and we will see our solo laners back into the top lane, core 4s in the bottom to start pushing into each other, and we'll see if the aggression is available into these camps, because the aggression is definitely available into X-Ray. You may not be losing a lot of HP, Grubby, but Caesar Salad landing a lot of really good combos.
Yeah. It did cost them a lot of mana. They already burned Leap of Faith once from Anduin. It does make me wonder sometimes why tanks do that, like double stun ATC, and he didn't even take 10% damage. I always wondered, that can't be right. Like, that can't be right. It's a nice combo, but what are we really doing? Is it just to like keep them busy, to allow for the 2v3 up here? I'm not sure. Maybe Justin can offer some information on that. I wonder how much in analysis of the teams, like how much they actually treat moves like that. Like, hey guys, I double stun ATC, and then the assassins are like, I can't hit them because Sylvanas needs to have one person to be the closest to her to hit all her Withering Barrage because it auto fires on the closest target, I believe. So
I think doesn't it prioritize heroes, or am I crazy in that?
Maybe you're right.
Prioritizes heroes, yeah.
Okay, so it's about being close enough then. Shoot the closest enemy, prioritizes heroes. Yeah, well, that's good. That's good. Still, Genji wasn't there. They can't get the kill, so why do it? Cost you mana. It's just a little bit critical. But the first gank attempt, I think, was with the help of Dahaka, and then ETC had to be pulled. And when Dahaka is not there, you're just missing like 2 seconds of lockdown, so you're not going to get that kill.
It's really true, and I'm thinking back to this because I've been playing a lot more Anubrak, and I made a note in my notebook to ask Justin his thoughts as well. But I think it's one of those things, like, you land the initial burrow, you want to follow up with the impale because you've already landed the initial burrow. But maybe it's just one of those things, like, okay, sometimes you don't need to impale always. It's like the old McIntyre tip, which is, you don't always have to light Blaze's oil slicks on fire. Sometimes you can just let an oil slick be a slow.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see, but. Our first objective phase is up. Yeah, please.
Sometimes it's just to deny damage to yourself, right? Like if you've already burrow charged, you're exposed, so you've got to impale the tank plus 1 others just so that you're allowed to walk away. Oh, Genji getting attacked. Could be first blood. Does have deflect. Runs away. Skog actually chasing there. Very interesting to see Skog on Assassin when before he was playing tank. We've now got X-Ray and Swamp Grotta on that. So again, playing on Assassin. I'm not familiar with his history, whether he used to be DPS before filling tank or something. But yeah, we see him on Lunara trying to get that kill there on Genji. Just got away. We're still at a 0-0 death. We now have to race for the Immortal being 1. But they get the kill on Lucio.
Ooh, Lucio just going to get annihilated right there. Good setup from Swamp Grotto and X-Ray, and amazing follow-up from Gia with the combo of Li Ming. Skoog is still racing on the Immortal phase, but this is still extremely close when it comes to burn potential for this objective, as there's so many members of Granite Gaming invested in the defense, and this is going to be so close. Oh my god, Grubby, we are like 534 difference. The Immortal will go over to the side of Granite Gaming. An auto attack or two. A Lucio, a couple auto attacks could have been what won that over for the side of Diamond Hands, but it doesn't matter. We here have our Immortal moving into top lane, please.
They would need 6 Lucio triple salvo of auto attack, so it was a little bit further than that, but it was super close. We have the Immortal pushing in now. We do have a replay actually of that first kill. We can see how that went again. If there's not too much action happening here, I leave it up to production.
We have, the Immortal pushing in, and I believe we will see that replay of the first blood in just a second with a Nubrak trying to step forward, just zoning back the enemy team. We have Dahaka doing the same thing on the lower half of our map, waiting to see if a Nubrak and friends step up here. No, it's just going to be clearing out the waves.
So let's check out the first blood. Here we go. We see that defense there by Granite Gaming. They're trying to buy time for Lunara to race, and they get a really cool connection with Blaze and ETC both piling on. Lucio caught there. Like Justin said, this team from Diamond Hands is very reliant on level 10 to be quite effective. Whether it's going to be Sound Barrier or going to be a high 5. And I'm actually not 100% convinced it should be a high 5. There is plenty of CC to cleanse away. Jet Propulsion, Power Slide, and Anduin's Root, including Light Bomb. But a lot of those are also an area of effectability. That makes it a little bit risky for Lucio. Like when you see ETC coming in with the Power Slide, and if you're fast enough, yeah, you can pre-cleanse high 5 your tank. But if you're doing the same thing into Blaze, it hits you from further away, let's say. It has like 300 range impact radius. So if you're just a little bit too late, where with Power Slide you can still react, there's a risk you run into a Blaze stun when you do that, or a Light Bomb for that matter. So I think it could be either one. With Sound Barrier, it's kind of like, yo, bro, if you get CC'd, good luck, man. We're just going to all have shields. We're going to focus on deleting you, even though you may kill 1 or 2 that are stunned. And then Genji has got this big shield. He's going to be happy with that. But if it's high 5, it just makes it a little bit harder for Lucio because there's so many different CCs for him to dodge and apply high 5s to his allies at the same time. I think it's an interesting decision. Maybe it's more clear-cut for him in his mind, but for me, I think it's both possible.
I absolutely agree. There's definitely different directions you can take the play for Lucio when it comes to this 10 talent tier fight. I like the Sound Barrier a lot for just that buff in the team fight, the delay, just to be able to say like, all right, we got 2,000 shielding, you got to burn through that or at least wait for that to expire. But here we will see. It's going to be the high 5. All right.
Okay, no Dragon Blade, so it's going to be high 5 and X Strike. Both of these are the, let's say, the defensive choice. Sound Barrier is like a tidal wave choice. Let's flood them. And Dragon Blade is the same way. So this isn't going to be like yesterday with the Dragon Blade, big Hanzo arrow coming in. We do have a Wailing Arrow, but it doesn't quite shut down in the same way. All the safe choices from Diamond Hands. They're going to like kind of go in a fight, get some stuns, get some high 5s. Then there's going to be the disengage. And then they're going to be able to re-engage and reposition with high 5s and X strikes. So far, a really good result. Wailing Arrow was used, but that's the only heroic Diamond Hands used. Kelsier was that person on the castle rampart, and everyone's shouting, "Hold! Hold until you can see the white in their eyes!" And he's like, "Oops, I shot."
It's just like, oh yeah, the Wailing Arrow. Maybe I'll be able to deny the Leap of Faith, but the Leap of Faith actually did save the ETC there, and Light Bomb is available. The bunker was utilized as well. Got Phil trying to dive into the backline. There will be the Light Bomb onto Swamp Grotto, but the Immortal Stun. Oh, the Immortal Stun sets up the kill for the side of Diamond Hands, and that'll be a secondary kill with the reset on Genji's Swift Strike. Got Phil landing that kill. Ooh, need to avoid the stuns of the Immortal. Lunar with the Leaping Strikes trying to put some pressure on the enemy team, but that's an unfortunate play, and a triple kill goes over to the side of Diamond Hands. Immortal phase as well, and that's a really big bolster and momentum for our blue team.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate there for Granit. Blaze was trying so hard to be the center of attention with his Light Bomb that he didn't realize he blundered into the Immortal Stun. He died swiftly afterwards. I like it. Diamond Hands, they don't want to all-in someone with all their resources because of Anduin. So they really play the waiting game, very patient, just focusing mostly on defense, even as they lightly engage. You see Caesar Salad engaging, but he's no Valamar's there to check him. There's a stun, there's a Light Bomb, there's the high five, blocked the Light Bomb from Swamp Grotto. Again, combo not working out yet. Nice heroic usage there by Valamar. He was in a good position in order to be able to save his Caesar Salad. And really good patient play by Diamond Hands. Granite Gaming kind of fell apart in that skirmish. Now getting the defense. Keep almost dead. Meanwhile, Dahaka, Nintori pushing in, getting the full fort on top. That's actually insane. With like 1.5 minion wave, he gets the whole fort. I feel like that's misplayed by Granite Gaming. Somehow they needed to 5v4 collapse on Diamond Hands bottom. Or they can just say, we'll take care of this Immortal at the keep gate, but we're not going to lose both forts here. And they kind of got the worst of both worlds, despite being on equal talents. Against an Immortal that had almost no shields. Not very strong. Let's take a look at that objective fight again.
Can go ahead and take a peek at what happened around this objective phase, and here is that burrow charge from Nubrak, and Blaze was like, all right, I got the Light Bomb, but I accidentally stunned myself, and Genji just sees a reset, ready to go, managed to get the Swift Strike, and then X-Ray, great drag from Dahaka just to lock down this ETC, and there will be another kill in favor for the side of Diamond Hands. But I really don't understand Skoog. It was so deep with that Leaping Strike. Why?
Yeah. It's part of the reason why people like HoTS have been playing the Thornwood Vine. One, it helps you proc your level 7 more easily, the Choking Poland. And two, you start to think more of yourself as a backline assassin, someone that doesn't go in and try to delete a person. Who are you going to burst here? Anubrak Dahaka with Leaping Strike? It's going to get you out of position against the highly mobile team of Diamond Hands. People can track where your leaping goes, and unless you've got the full... Well, it may still come into play. Let's not overanalyze things. That is still extra burst. It's still going to be effective. Get a couple of auto attacks, Leaping Strike, Choking Poland, boom. That's burst. And that's what Li Ming wants. So it kind of fits in the picture, but maybe it was already too far gone, right? Because when Skog got caught there with the leaping, his tank had already been deleted. Caesar Salad smartly burrow charged on the backline, disabling Li Ming, and he was just kind of left behind pretty much. Like when I didn't realize that there was swimming, that there was a swimming day, and I showed up at school with my books, and then like all my classmates were already at the swimming pool, and I had to go back get my swimming wear. Yeah, it sucks being left behind like that, but you should pay attention, I guess.
Well, I mean, ooh, hold on, wait. Oh, let's talk about this Genji who just dove into the back line, is able to get the deflect, and actually, I really was worried about Got Filth getting bursted there, but no actual counter CC to lock him down. Though, the big thing to note is Li Ming is poking onto this Immortal phase with those magic missiles. There's a drag to connect onto Swamp Grotto, who does pop the bunker. He was mid-flight of the leap of phase, so maybe he was expecting to use the bunker closer, and the leap came through? And it just like queued in the bunker into the leap. I'm not 100% sure, but this seems like an Immortal phase that will go over to the side of Granit unless the big fight will break out. Huge Light Bomb is actually going to be pushed away by Valamar. ETC Moshpit's just going to be a solo dance while Li Ming is the one to get hit with the cocoon. There's an isolation onto ETC. He goes down with the help of X-Strike from Genji. Phenomenally layered from the side of Diamond Hands here, Grubby.
Yeah, really good play by Diamond Hands. And Granite Gaming just looks like they're fishing behind the net all the time. There's nothing left there. A mosh pit somewhere deep in the south. a bunker coming out without a real purpose, without a real all-in. Lunara dropping real low, being forced to get the light bomb, even though she's supposed to be able to save herself with the leaping strike. Granit Gaming is not looking rock solid right now, whereas Diamond Hands, they've got their hands on the victory, it looks like, with a 4-1 in takedowns, the Immortal marching up, and just Sylvanas' Black Arrow to be able to remove the defensive advantage.
The Black Arrow is up and available. Checking that cooldown. X-Ray behind the gate. ETC Mosh Pit up in 60 seconds. Light Bomb ready to go, and a few other things as well. I did like the call from Caesar Salad in that engagement to cocoon the Li Ming, because that meant there was no Disintegrate to, well, zone back the enemy team or just Li Ming threat. The isolation was really great onto Caesar Salad as well, but Genji right now in this top lane trying to put pressure. There's a drag. No, that was a jet propulsion from Blaze connecting into the enemy side. Burrow charge from Anubrak. Leap of Faith from Anduin to save one, and the Immortal will push into top, and the members of Diamond Hands get a top keep. But this chase from Granit Gaming, where's the turnaround moment? Because you know there's going to be a turnaround, and I think this is going to be it here. Nice interrupt onto the mosh pit from Lucio. Light Bomb comes through, does connect onto one. The bunker's down for the Blaze. Leaping strikes from Lunara are going to be coming out. She gets inside the bunker, but there's so much play out of this bunker. There's Lunara going down. Genji finding the reset and Swift Strike, going to be diving back into the enemy side. Swamp Grotto trying to back away. The sustained chase is too much from the side of Diamond Hands. Diamond Hands finding a solid pentakill. They're going to ace the members of Granit Gaming and take map number 1 in a dominant, very speedrun fashion. GG's over to Diamond Hands, Grubby. That was a flawless execution on that last fight, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. A speedrun is exactly the term that came to mind as well, and you felt the same way clearly. Godfield got some huge triple shurikens off there, and he's got Shingon, the bonus crits damage when you hit all 3 into a single target. Li Ming has a small body, but he was able to unload all those shurikens at close range. Very good accuracy. He was cleaning up everybody. We had Lunara leaping striking into the front line, getting in the bunker, leaping striking away, and she hoped that she would be able to get away with that, but Swift Strike made swift work of that. Godfield looking dominant. He was responsible for 5 out of the 9 last hits. Sylvanas the rest from Kelsier. Overall, Diamond had put on a clinic, and Granit Gaming had no chance at all.
I got to get Justin back in here because I'm sure you got things to break down, and I've got questions for you, but I want to get your thoughts as we bring you back in on this map 1 Battlefield of Eternity.
That was just overall a great game played by Diamond Hands. Everyone on the team really stepped up. I was hoping to see that there would be some separation between these two teams, because although in the standings last week they both lost, so they're both kind of down in the doldrums. It was nice to see a separation here. Diamond Hands looked very, very strong. Their composition was extremely hard to execute into the enemy team of Granit Gaming. They had a lot of tools to defend against it, but they did a really good job of sort of not overextending and forcing the fights. Even though their team was made to kind of force engages, they would always go fishing first for the cooldowns. They would look to get the pull, they would look to get the bunker, and Granit did make a bit of mistakes in using both of those at the same times. It happened once pretty early on, which was really costly for them, where they used the bunker and the pull. But Diamond Hands had the patience to wait and then engage. They bait the cooldowns and then they force the hard engage. And that's how they were winning all of these fights, because there was no defensives available at that point. So Diamond Hands really just understood their win condition much, much better. They understood how to play the fights better. It looked like they were just the much better team in this game 1. And something I need to point out is Valimar might be the best support in the league. So even if his team is currently not in like the first place like contention right now, this is a developmental roster, and I want to see more of what he can do. Lucio's not the most popular pick right now, but he made it look extremely strong, and that is one of the highest impact supports if you're kind of skill gapping your opponents. So I wouldn't mind seeing more of that from Valimar, because if you just watch Lucio in these fights, he's doing more than pretty much any other support could.
Oh, absolutely. The Lucio play from Valimar was outstanding. There was actually, if memory serves me right, there were 2 solid interrupts onto Mosh Pit with just the sound wave of the Lucio, and that's not easy to do because you can actually step into the ETC Mosh and just get moshed from that. But Justin, as we're getting ready for our next map, I do have a couple questions. Grubby and I were pontificating very deeply about the ways to play a Nubarak and following up CC is, I want to get your thoughts as well about, the burrow charge into Impale. Is this just something we're doing in our brain because we landed the burrow charge, or is there a good utilization of burrow charging Impaling even though a kill isn't going to be found? Is the CC train good?
So for the most part, you typically need to do that because when you E in, you're kind of putting yourself at risk. As soon as a Nubarak burrows in, you become a target. The enemy team is always actively thinking Nubarak's E is down. We can now pursue him as a kill if it's possible. So as soon as you E in, that's kind of the ding ding ding, like the dinner bell for the enemy team. Like, oh, a Nubarak squishy tank. He has no E, so you pretty much have to use your Q to peel for yourself as soon as you go in so that you can have space to run back. So most of the time you pretty much need to do that. It's pretty similar to when ETC slides in, he usually has to use his W to knock back the opponents. It's for the same reason. And Li Ming's trying to follow up, hate that, but you kind of have to train your Li Mings to throw it where the W is going to like knock them back to, because as the ET's perspective, or the ETC's perspective is, if I don't do this to peel for myself, I'm going to die because he's slid in. So it's kind of the same thing with the Nubarak.
So are you okay with the level 7 face melt talent that does triple damage? Because you are going to be using that even in a fight often?
Yeah, I think even when you're playing for the playstyle to mostly just use the Ws for disruption, the moments where you do slide in on ETC, I really do like having the face melt damage from that talent at level 7. I think that's probably the best talent for him at level 7.
Yeah, I agree. The others are also small benefits. I take it too, but I try not to overuse it. And like everyone on ladder is like in Storm League is overusing it. But that makes sense that he's trying to protect for himself. Cool little deep dive in tank mechanics. We do of course have more maps coming up.
Oh, we do, and I believe we can actually let everyone at home know where we're going to be heading into for map number 2. Excited for this series to see how this will go, and it's going to be Diamond Hands choosing to take us to Shire. This is a map where they had a really dominant showcase up against Simplicity last week with 4 really good heroes and one that was just there, I guess. But either way, the losing side, which is going to be Granit Gaming, they opt for first pick priority. Getting into Shire, and this actually kind of plays off of the second question I had for you, Justin. Genji. Is this just stylistic from these players? Like, can you break down why we're seeing so much Genji and why it's so good in CCL?
So it feels like the meta is shifting towards more of one-shot blow-up styles. It feels like teams are straying away for the most part from playing a more sustained. There's not a lot of double support comps. There's sort of double support-esque compositions with the Blaze Bunker, for example, like we had in the last game. But we're not seeing much teams playing for sort of just the long out sustaining, the long like ruling fights. It feels like more fast blow-up, high execution comps are becoming more meta. And when you have that type of meta, Genji is by far one of the best at following up on that. He can dive into the backline and get resets with his Swift Strike, and his ultimates obviously cater to that. He's kind of made for that type of meta. So it's also probably, I think, it's a favorite to play in Storm League, so I think it's also a little bit of comfort.
Because I feel like Maiev does this so very well, so why aren't we seeing so much more Maiev? I feel like she's got a lot more utility than a Genji pot. Well, no, I mean, they've got their own respective play, but
for sure.
But I feel like Grubby with you, I agree with you. It's just like I feel like I would rather have a Maiev just with all the options, but we'll see what happens with this draft, and it's already exploding right now. I love the Rexar for the solo lane, Grubby. I think he's got so much insane control, and Nentori should be putting on a clinic for this bear-wielding hunter.
And they also know that Swampgrota likes Rexar. Even though Swampgrota did get abused a little bit in that top lane in the previous match that they played, as when Rexar loses front wall and the top forward, he nearly has an untenable position to stay there. But Dahaka and Rexar are still 2 of the top picks on this battleground. They know that Swampgrota likes to play that. He still has alternatives. Deathwing, good against Rexar, possible. He used to love that hero. Could go Hager. And there's still Blaze available, though I doubt Blaze is going to make it. Well, actually, they didn't ban Blaze. They banned Sylvanas. Oh, I guess they're worried about top pushes on this map.
Want to get your thoughts as well, Justin. A lot's been unfolding and evolving in this draft. Expectations or even thoughts on what we are seeing so far?
Yeah, so I think what Granit drafted with Junkrat on Shire is really strong. Junkrat can kind of just sit bottom, and he can just take over He kind of makes bot a no-go zone for the enemy team. So that's really strong in the early game. I do like that. And taking the Kerosene away, I see that as more of a deny pick on the side of Granit. What Diamond Hands had drafted with Rexar and Anubarak really caters towards that. The support priority on this map is quite a lot different than it is on other maps. Valimar and Uther I really like, and Phoenix, we know that you love that a lot, Baha.
Having a blast.
Granite's comp is looking quite scary, though. I like what they're doing with their draft.
All right, no, I really actually like both sides, and my jokes and everything aside about Phoenix, I actually really do kind of like what Granite's drafted here, Grubby. I think they've got such a strong draft overall.
I like that Phoenix can switch between a Stalker and a Dragoon, having played both StarCraft 1 and 2. I think he's a great hero, iconic, and he's pretty strong. I would be worried to play him into Muradin Maiev, if I'm quite honest. Both of those can be quite good at disrupting your teleport timing. But Godfield, he showed some great play so far, and I think they played Phoenix last week as well.
Yes.
Finally, Malthael coming in, which may actually move Rexar to the 4-man. I feel like they pulled a fast one on Granite here. They said, hey, Deathwing counters Rexar. We now have a new solo laner in Malthael. I love it. Rexar's going to be 4-man, and suddenly it's Kelsier. He's going to DPS Rexar.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because I think that in the last season, Granite was one of the teams that kind of was the first people to bring out the Rexar and the 4-man, and now Diamond Hands is using it against them in Season 3. I think that's kind of neat. The way that these drafts evolved, they drafted very strange compositions on both sides. Granite Gaming's composition, if this was Infernal Shrines, I would think that their composition was just incredible. The main issue I'm seeing is that they really need to be grouped up to really get kills for the most part. They need at least 3 of their members to really get kills. On the side of Diamond Hands, they're a little bit more self-reliant. They have the Phoenix who can kind of do camps by himself. They have the Rexar who's going to be able to control either top or bottom by himself. I expect they probably do swap the Rexar down to bottom. That's something that Oxygen was doing on this map. And Diamond Hands showed a good understanding of how to play this map against Simplicity last week. So it's hard to give a clear advantage in the draft. Granite has Deathwing and Junkrat, which are very hard to siege into. So I think that we might see a very long game on Dragonshire unless Diamond Hands is able to just skill difference them.
Well, we'll see you after this potentially long game, or will Diamond Hands speedrun it again, Justin? We'll have to find out as we are here loaded on in, and on the left-hand side are what is technically like a quad bruiser tank hypercarry Phoenix composition in Diamond Hands. Caesar Salad on the Anubarak, Valimar on the Uther, Nentori on the Malthael, Phoenix to be played by Gotfilth, Kelsier on the Rexar, and Misha to play Misha. Over in the Granite Gaming side of the map, we'll see if they're going to be able to put one up on the board through Dragonshire, Gia on the Maiev, Skoog on the Junkrat, Svampgrata on the Deathwing, Henning on the Karazim, and X-Ray to play the Muradin. I have this feeling, and maybe I'm wrong with it, but I feel like Granite Gaming, they put together a very good draft here, Grubby. Want to get your thoughts on what you could expect or what you're thinking might unfold.
Yeah, and I think it is a very good draft. They do need to figure out the top lane though, which should be Deathwing, Malthael. I think it's not that bad. Deathwing, Malthael. We do see Malthael already sticking to Deathwing. Took about half of his armor plates, and I think talents are very important here for Deathwing. He took the melee build actually. So not going for the range build that sets up with allies doing CC, which would honestly be stronger for the late game. The melee build, a little bit better though for the... and in fact, the melee build is what you would want into Rexar. I wonder if that's still something that's going to be helpful even in the one-on-one with Malthael. Maybe it is. But either way, he's going to have to play it safe, especially at level 10, where it becomes really cheesy. He doesn't have those armored plates, so he can never block on Lost Rights. And he should be losing to Nintori, which means he's actually not going to have a lot of shrine control, which requires Karazim, Maiev, or Muradin to come top to occasionally push back Malthael, keep him honest, maybe gank him. That's going to be something that they need to do, which means that Junkrat will be defending bot, and Maiev will use Nation's Memento to take camps. Yeah, I think actually Granite can hold on, but it's really hard to cut the ribbon and go through the finish line with any kind of agency. They gotta wait for someone out of position or some kind of gank somewhere.
I think you've nailed that on the head, absolutely. There's a lot of good damage on the side of Granite, and there's a lot of good tools as well, as you mentioned, that level 1 for Maiev being able to grab camps extremely quick, and we did see that on the right side of the map with the Bruiser camp being finished, but Granit Gaming went for the delay, waiting for the opposing side to be able to push up into the top lane. But if we actually look in the top lane, there's a massive rotation. Malthael looking to find his way out of this, tries to get the mark over the wall so he could jump onto Deathwing to get out of this enclosure. But Swamp Grotto was conscious of this and backed away. Nintori, though, still is really making the outplay, and this is a good. This is like a good and bad thing, Grubby, because you forced a rotation of 3 enemies to kill a Malthael, and you should be getting value in the other lanes, but you still lose your Malthael. I'm trying to figure out who really comes out on top of this.
Granit Gaming, absolutely. Not only did they get the kill and have their Bruiser still pushing, they may even get the kill on Phoenix here, actually. We do have good armor from Uther, double armor, making sure to spread out his heals to make sure 25 armor is always there. But look, if 3 people take 15 plus seconds to kill Malthael, what was the Nubarakan team doing? They tried to push in on Junkrat, they get a little bit tower damage. They weren't doing anything on the map at the same time. Trying to push into Junk on double towers, not easy. He's got that splash auto, he's got the threat of popping one over the wall. They were just kind of hanging out. I looked on the minimap as this was happening.
Yeah.
It makes you feel like you're that guy in Storm League to be ganked as a solo laner by 3, and you're like, yo, what's my 4-man doing against 2? And you just look and it's nothing. It makes you sad. You also feel guilty because you died, but at the same time you wonder, why aren't we also rotating top to deal with the Bruiser cap? Which absolutely is something you should do. Bruiser versus Bruiser, 1v1, suddenly Maiev shows up in lane. That's never going to just be a 2v1 for clear and then back. That's also going to translate to a Malthael kill attempt. And I feel like that very instant, Diamond should just abandon and go like 5 top. Why not? It's the kind of map for it, really. Or even 4 top.
Oh, good dive onto Skoog as he wasn't able to activate the trap in bottom lane, or excuse me, the concussion mine. You had mentioned there's just so much junk from Junkrat, and it is hard to get through the chattering teeth with the big as and the concussion mines. We're going to be seeing Gotta Trap them all level 13. So Granit Gaming will become more and more defensive with this Junkrat, though I do got to say that chain CC and the availability into the kill of Junkrat bottom does show that Diamond Hands have an understanding of how they want to be able to lock someone down and get a kill. We'll see if they're going to be able to do this in the future on our Diamond Hand side. Gia making it look like he's got some friends with him stepping forward with the Spirit of Vengeance. And you had talked about this yesterday, Grubby. It's a manipulation that we see from these really, really strong players and saying, ooh, am I threatening? Am I coming in? You know, do I have friendly members around? Because not a lot of Granit Gaming members are showing on maps. So really good manipulation from Gia, as you did see a little back off from Diamond for a second, but we still have a delayed objective phase, 10 talents here around the corner for both sides. Neither team available for a Dragonite as the Moonshrine channeled by Diamond Hands, though actually Moonshine's about to go over to Diamond Hands, Sunshine's over to them in the top lane.
Yeah, and you know, Deathwing is going there. Malthael had an 89% channel or so with Skok coming in with the cancel. Deathwing took top. He used his flight recently and still on a 20-second cooldown. Overall, the game goes on. We've got that 1 versus 1 takedown. Got some quests going here and there. Uther getting his Wave of Light quest. And again, the 3 on top. Deathwing just cleared, so there's no info. Muradin actually chooses to go for the cap rather than the potential kill on Malthael. And Henning was ready to follow, but X-Ray decided, hey, the cap is more important. And to get that double laser to stop.
I think Maiev just got like 4 or 5 resets on Fan and Knives while Valimar and friends are trying to press into the bottom lane fort front gate. Caesar Salad coming over here to make sure that Got Filth won't be invaded, and X-Ray is going to meet Caesar Salad. Deathwing in the mid lane soaking up. Malthael has the channel on the Sunshrine in the top lane. Another potential Dragonite over to our blue team, but Deathwing and Phoenix are battling out in mid lane while we have something happening out here in bottom. Henning on the point will stall out the channel. There's Chattering Teeth connecting on to Caesar Salad. He's going to get hit with the 7-sided strike, but there's a counteractive Divine Shield. Uther inside this Warden's, inside the containment disc, and the Riptire coming through. The Kerosene actually got 1 auto, but then got hit with the Cocoon. Things falling apart a little bit in that engagement on the Diamond Hand side. Seems like Granit Gaming understanding how they want to play this Shire map, with Deathwing getting pushed hard into the top lane.
I like the Haymaker pick as well. Every time actually I've been Muradin with Maiev, I've also been taking a Haymaker, because you can forcibly push them out of her cruel chain. What's it actually called? Umbral Bind. you can push them out of Umbral Bind, and then they get ping-ponged back into you, which means they take bonus damage. Sometimes they proc some of her talents. In this case, he's got no Umbral Bind talents, but still, it's really neat. There is a bonus damage element to Umbral Bind pool, and they can't control their character during all this. So I like that for Muradin. It was a good collapse there by Granit Gaming. The best thing that happened for them so far in this series. It's fairly even. We do have more structure damage by Diamond Hands and more total shrine control, which Granit Gaming is now taking back. Got filled 99% almost. Gia just pulled through in the top lane.
Containment disconnects onto this Malthael. Henning trying to get in position for a 7-sided strike. Will be able to do so. X-Ray misses the Stormbolt, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And Grubby, I have a question for you. This is very, very important. If Maiev has the Umbral Bind on someone and then you Haymaker them, is that called the Yo-Yo Maker?
The Yo-Yo Maker, I like it. Yeah, we'll go with that. Let's see if there's going to be a Yo-Yo Maker or so, or yeah. I think that's the best word for it. Let's see if there's going to be Yo-Yo Maker combo and how good it is. It has a lot of cool mechanics actually, where it also can push people. Like Haymaker is like bowling ball, right? Like it can push other pins.
Oh yeah.
When it comes back, should be really good if it works.
I'll be honest, taking Grand Slam in ARAMs is one of my favorite things to do because you just play a Omega aggressive Muradin, and then Grand Slam at 20 gets your resets if you get a kill, so you just
so good.
Jump, I'm leaping around, I'm haymakering people's faces, they die, I get a reset, I can just run around haymakering. If you have never played Haymaker build Muradin and ARAM, do yourself a favor and do it because you are in for a treat. It's a fun time, and it's very annoying on the receiving end. But on this Dragonshire map, we have still not had a first Dragonite. A lot of camps, a lot of back and forth, and it's 1-2 in kills. I gotta say, Grubby, Granit Gaming, looking a lot more controlled and poised, but in this top lane, I might have cursed Deathwing. Bellowing Roar comes out, connects onto no one, so Deathwing is forced to use the Cataclysm to back away and Last Rites. Oh, the spray as Svampgrada backs away, living from the Last Rites.
Honestly, not too bad. Deathwing uses a 60 and a 90-second cooldown. Both are gone right now, but he does get away from the gank. Last Rite gets used. We have the fort going down, but not super fast. Uther and Malthael are really bad at getting forts. Phoenix does use his warp speed to get a bonus auto attack speed with the repeater cannon, and he'll end up killing the fort, but he's going to be late to bottom lane. In the meantime, in bottom lane, Granit Gaming gets a Misha kill, and they get a fort as well with help of the Bruiser Camp. So good job by Svampgrada surviving the gank and making that last. In the meantime, everyone is coming back.
Oh, good step in from Diamond Hands to mitigate the 7-strike value, since you can actually put other higher health pool heroes inside that. But if Purification Salvo comes out, it'll be interrupted by a Stormbolt of Muradin. Still, Junkrat will fall. Got Filth able to put a lot of pressure and kind of force a lot of assets. But it was just a good step in from Diamond Hands to just mitigate the 7-strike kill into the Anubrak, because each strike hits the highest health nearby hero for 7% of their maximum health. So if no one stepped near a Nubrak inside that 7-sided, he would have been killed. And we'll be able to look at that replay in just a second here, Grubby, as potential Dragonite goes over to Diamond Hands.
Yeah, there's been so much double laser blue control. Finally, Diamond Hands can convert that into an actual capture with them having that kill there on Junkrat and having that reprieve of a 5 versus 4. Good control. It started off pretty well for Granit, but it still has dropped off a bit. Dragonite, we'll get about half a fort here. You may be wondering, why not just charge at it and absolutely right-click it? Well, you can do that, but usually you'll lose it a little bit too fast. You still want to use the bonus damage of minions, get some damage. You want to use the Fire Breath, and you want to kind of make the objective last. You want to strike a balance between the duration left and the HP left. If you still have 40 seconds left and you already lost the HP, you can do on more Fire Breaths. And even the Fire Breath does double damage on buildings. It can be you can get more out of it often when you do that.
Oh, absolutely. There's so much mid-maxing you can get from a Dragonite. Got Filth losing a little bit of shielding in top lane, Henning punching his way through the enemy team. And this is looking like a Dragonite phase that finds mid lane forts slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. I'm just curious really quickly. Flame Breath deals 205 damage and burns the area for an additional 320 damage over 4 seconds, for anyone wondering.
Erden is getting double stunned here by Benediction. X-Ray trying to run away. Got filled. Did he overcommit? No, he actually has a really nice warp away timing. He saw the GR coming in there with the Avatar Spirit, whatever it's called. We have a really low team of Granite Gaming. They're trying to get away, but they can't. Misha gets in position. There is the last right, so my FC no longer has fault of the Wardens. That should be an immediate 7-sided strike. And he's getting perma-stunned. Henning gets perma-stunned. He does use the 7-sided and he gets away with it. They kill the Anubarak. That was a great set of micromanagement and crisis management abilities by Granite Gaming. It looked like they were sheep being shepherded away by the sheepdogs, the wolves, what have you. But they actually managed to bite back with their blunt little teeth. They get a kill. Car team survives. Fantastic. You know, if I was Henning, I would have just spammed 7-sided strike. And he did get perma-stun, so it wasn't possible for a while. But he decided to first Radiant Dash away, then 7-sided, and then snap. He's a little bit safer. Let's look at this fight again.
Oh, please, Grubby, break it on down for us, because I gotta see this I gotta see this once again.
Yeah, look at this. They look so low. We get the cleanse there for X-Ray. We get the heal for Gia. There's the stun. Deathwing coming in from the flank. And so Maiev dies, right? So how did CCL die? He's full life right now. First of all, he takes a bit of damage. He burrow charges past the fire breath. He takes 2 shots from the tower. He has to walk back into Deathwing fire, which is still there. Took about 3 turret shots and a full rip tire to the face. So it looked really good at first. He managed to dodge most of the initial damage of both the 7-sided strike as well as the fire breath from Deathwing. But he got into an awkward spot where he couldn't walk back anymore. Whoa, big collapse on Malthiel! Great cleanse. I think he used his shroud. Checking. Yeah, he used his own inevitable end, and Uther was there as well. Really cool collapse, but Malthiel has that 20-second cooldown cleanse.
I want to talk about one thing really quickly as well that sustained that kerosene, because I think without it, he would have 100% been dead. And it's that level 13 Sixth Sense. While rooted or stunned, gains 75 physical armor against hero basic attacks for 4 seconds, reducing their damage by 75%. And I think that was key and instrumental for Henning to live with about 300 HP. Also to note, Caesar's Salad on the Anubarak, when he was, getting shredded, the big factor in him receiving damage was the conflagration value of this Deathwing. He went into that Molten Flame at 13, 16, and that conflagration at 16 shreds through health pools. That you stand in the flames a little too long, you're definitely going to get burnt up by this dragon.
Yeah, I've never seen this build synergy. Usually when it's Heatwave at level 1, it's like full Heatwave build. But he went for the standard teamfight build with only a concession on level 1. Not getting the little trickle healing, nor the Draconic plates, the Draconic Might, the armored plates. Instead going for healing from Heatwave, but then not speccing into it any further with repeated heal wave bonus damage stacking at level 4. I like this. He's still a team fighter, just took the level 1 talent for the lane. Swamp Grotto has developed his build. I haven't seen this from him before. He used to go either one way or another. That's where I learned all my Deathwing builds. But yeah, it's been a good change, and that's why he was able to do so much damage on the Anubarak, among other things.
Did you see X-Ray in bottom lane? He got so fed up with 1v1ing the Misha that he haymakers are out so that we can try and get the channel. It's a 40-second cooldown, but I was just like, yeah, I've been there before, Murd, and I've been there, X-Ray. I'm just like, I'm so sick of you, Misha. Please just get out my face.
Yeah, I've last righted Murky before because I got so sick of his nonsense.
Big question, Grubby. Did he have bubble or not? Did he did he do the Murky?
Of course.
It was after bubble. Okay, because I've also been on that side too, but it's just like, oh, you're gonna last rights me. Well, you didn't cooldown count, and I got my E back. So, good channel in top lane from Deathwing to deny the Dragonite. Caesar Sal was aiming to grab it, but now Malthiel, Valimar got Filth. They're trying to chase in. Bellowing Roars use Cataclysm. Last rights. Deathwing lands and dies as Skoog is gonna get chain CC'd by Caesar Salad, and a double kill will be found by Malthiel. Insane call from the side of Diamond Hands in the sense of how quickly they were able to rotate, find the double kill, and now look at this macro moving into bottom lane to try and set up for Dragonite.
I'd actually love to see that again. Just the 10 seconds before disaster kind of moment, because this could be game ending. If we are able to see that replay, 10 seconds before they collapse on Deathwing, would there have been a way for Granit to know it and not be there? We're going to try to get that. But let's focus on this push until we do have that. Cleanse on Phoenix a little bit early, but he's going to get away. He's going to do a little bit of salt and pepper damage, like not much, right? Just a bit of seasoning. As Nintori takes some tower damage. Diamond Hands starting to leave from mid lane. Murden thinking, X-Ray thinking, hey, can I haymaker anybody? Am I going to kind of push out mid because there's not much I can do bot? I think Granit here, they're expecting to lose the keep and just try to provide a token defense while waiting for the heroes to come back.
Good utilization of Nintori on the Maltheo sitting in that bush. He did need to step forward to siege. The Dragonite can do that, dealing 810 damage into structures, 405 standard, and just anchoring for the team on this Maltheo. But now that the siege is in, Nintori looking for the angle to dive in. There's a bind onto Got Filth. The Boar's Unleashed by the Rexari has the level 10 at 20 kill command. Dragonite will end, but so does the keep as Phoenix gets the last couple autos, but did he stay too long? Karazim chasing in with a few dashes. Maiev trying to step in as well with the the containment disc conflagration to clear out the... Oh my god, that Vault of the Warden is very good, but there was a cocoon from Anubrak onto X-Ray. Anubrak goes back in, conflagration from the other side. Karazim is going to go down to the Maltheo, my apologies, and a lot of chaos in that engagement right there, Grubby, but... a keep goes down, Diamond Hands looking strong.
Yeah, I think Valamar actually counted on no Unconquered Spirit on Phoenix. He was going to get the kill, but then he just died because the damage never disappeared since Godfield got the shield. So, that didn't need to happen. Maybe just a miscalculation of talent. Make sure always to check the level 20s. And one more death on the side of Granit. It was a cool try if there had been a different level 20, I guess, for Phoenix.
Looks like, Grubby, we got that replay for the top lane if you want to take a look at that.
Yeah, let's take a look. How did Granit lose a keep? It's because they got attacked here. Deathwing was real far in the lane. He wanted the shrine, but everyone was coming for him. And what was Granit doing at the same time? Well, they were kind of just mid. They were bot. They had bot control. I'm going to just say he didn't need to be there. Based on what I saw there, Murden, he's supposed to be the one that checks whether the V shape in the middle, like the Bermuda Triangle of bushes and rotations, whether there's anybody there. With X-Ray capping bottom, I don't think Deathwing is allowed to be outside of the Bridge of Death in the top lane.
No, Deathwing had stepped forward from my memory, Deathwing stepped forward into the top lane to get the 50% on the shrine, and that was kind of the green light, if you will, for Diamond Hands. They're like, okay, the investment's in, let's go ahead and take down this Deathwing because he will not be able to get out. And even then, even if they didn't get the Deathwing kill, they were able to force out the Bellowing Roar and the Cataclysm. So two big talents forced out of the Deathwing, which would have also been a nice victory for the side of Diamond Hands. But they're able to come out on top of that, getting two abilities plus the double kill. Diamond Hands looking stronger and stronger, fortifying themselves as this map progresses, but a self-cleanse from Maltheo will allow him to disengage with about 25% of his HP. Misha will be charged, but Misha's fine. She's got that level 4 Hunter-Gatherer extra armor. This is... I gotta say, Grubby, like, it kind of seems like things are slowly falling apart on the side of Granite Gaming. They're kind of losing control of every facet of this map, but I say that and Maltheo goes down.
He did return Feign Death there to stop the Umbral Bind. There is a trap on him, though. Can Caesar Salad eat the trap? Oh, he uses Misha to eat the trap before he comes out of the Feign Death. That was so well played by Kelsier, bringing Misha back, putting her in the bear trap. Sad, of course, but of course she's going to be able to be revived by him. She only fainted, just like Pokemon's. Kelsier has not died yet on Rexar. He's got 4 Misha deaths, using that as a resource that comes back anyway. We've got Catapult on core. It's not going to do shield damage yet, but this is great play by Diamond Hands. They're staying alive with everyone that matters. Maltheo came back. Misha's going to come back. Swamgrotto now in a terrible position. He's going to try to roar to get away, and he does, and they get the Misha again. Again, she's going to come back. Like, it's fine. A really, really good time buying by Diamond Hands. They know they're 5 forts versus a single keep.
Top lane does have waves coming in. X-Ray very low. Last Right's on a 10-second cooldown. Molten Flame out from Swamp Grotto, and the Dwarf Toss allows Murden to disengage. He does have that rewind as well, but the chase is still in. 7-sided strike will be utilized. Blink out. There's a salvo to connect onto the enemy side. Gonna tickle the enemy team, but the Last Rights applied to Henning will find the kill. A new Brack Burrow charges in and does find the kill into this Maiev. There's just so much good collapse from the side of Diamond Hands.
He's getting so many resets here, Godfilth. 0 deaths, non-stop porting in. 50 armor for 4 seconds here, 50 armor for 4 seconds there with that Warped Warfare, getting the kills in. cleaning everybody up. It was a great play by everyone from Diamond Hands. We've got Cocoon versus Containment Disc, but they managed to chaos better. They want one more kill on Swampgrotha, a pure showboating fan service kind of thing. Can they get Swampgrotha again? There's no loss rights yet, but it's pure damage that will take him down. The beast is slain, the dragon is dead, and so is this map over. 2-0 for Diamond Hands.
Diamond Hands' portfolio is skyrocketing in the positive as they go up into what could be a 3-0 series, but they have to win that third map. We got Justing back on the line with us, and I'm sure you got a few things to break down for us. So Justing, by all means, how was that Dragonshire map for you?
Diamond Hands were kind of more prepared for it, I'd say. The draft was also, I really liked how they pivoted into the Malthael at the end. That ended up being extremely crucial to them winning this map. Nintori played really, really well on the Malthael, and it felt like in pretty much all of the fights, the real difference maker was that last rights coming out from him. One member on the enemy team on Granit would kind of limp away with low HP, but they would have the last rights on them, and that would be what would really secure the fight for Diamond Hands. The early game was a 1-3-1, which on paper would typically favor Granit because they had Deathwing and they had Junkrat, which you can't really siege into those. But Diamond Hands in the draft pulled the switcheroo and they picked the Malthael, so they could lane the Malthael top into the Deathwing and the Rexar bot into the Junkrat. So they actually had winning matchups top and bottom, which meant that both teams running their 1-3-1s, that really favored Diamond Hands. And it took about 10 minutes for them to be able to break through, to get a DK and to be able to break through those forts. They traded top and bot for it around 10 minutes. Which, opening up the map like that heavily benefited Diamond Hands. They needed to do that. That's what I said, or that's kind of what I meant when I said that I thought this would be a long game, because Granit had a lot of tools to clear waves and to kind of just stall out the game for a really long time. But once those forts go down, it's very unsafe for Junkrat and Deathwing to be out there, much like the Rexar. So it just really favored Diamond Hands. Diamond Hands managed to pull out the win at level 24, I think, and they were winning fights 5v5. In a comp where they maybe necessarily shouldn't, but their level 20s were a lot better as well, it seemed like. The boars from Kelsier were really impactful, and I'd say Nintori was the MVP for this game. Overall, just good play by Diamond Hands. They just looked like the better team today.
Looking very strong, and the question that I want to pose to you here, Justing, is could this have gone Granit Gaming's way, and how could it have?
So it definitely could have. This what's actually the replay right here was the big turning point, I would say. So Deathwing and Junkrat are the two heroes that kind of stopped them from ending the game, and they killed both of them. Those were the two members that at least one of them needs to stay alive to kind of keep the game going. Those are what I'd call as a goalie, is what I'd like to term them as, is they kind of just stop you from sieging into them. You can't push into them. Like Chromie's another example of one. In order for them to have won, though, they probably would have needed to realize that their lanes were kind of losing at the start and maybe look to kind of swap that around. They don't really need a Junkrat bottom to 1v1 the Rexar. That's not really where Junkrat shines. Junkrat shines at more of just kind of stopping anyone from sieging anywhere. So I would have preferred to see them leave pretty much anyone bottom, maybe even Muradin if they're not feeling like they have kill pressure in the early game. Maybe leave Muradin bottom and have him just kind of contest the point and give up a little bit of soak so that Junkrat can kind of just stop the bleeding anywhere else. Had they not lost their top fort at the beginning, I think that would have been really, really huge for them. The snowball kind of starts as soon as they lose one fort. Because if they're able to put emphasis on defending their forts, it's kind of impossible for Granit to, Granit could have taken that game, they could have drawn it out almost forever and just hoped for a good level 20 fight, maybe a level 25 fight, if they stalled it out long enough. But losing that top fort was really, really critical to Granit's loss there. So I would have liked to see maybe just allowing the Junkrat to just rotate between the lanes and maybe don't take that trade of top and bot fort that they did at the start at 10 minutes-ish.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think overall they didn't help Deathwing enough. They don't know how scary it is to be Deathwing by himself in the lane. Even with a fort, so long as there's a bruiser camp on that fort, it's not enough defense. In general, it isn't. If enemy tank can tank the shots for 10 shots in a row. They constantly needed to gank Malthael just as much as Deathwing got ganked, especially when he goes deep.
Okay. Well, we'll see if these adaptations can be addressed and utilized getting into our third map. We're going to take a short little break. In that break, I encourage you to hit !prize pool so you can check out the Matcherino page. And if you'd like to donate towards the prize pool, we always very much appreciate it. We're at $3,060 because of your support. So thank you, everyone at home, for supporting, watching, and cheering on HeroesCCL. We'll be back in a few minutes with our third map. Will Diamond Hands be able to 3-0 Granite Gaming, or does Granite Gaming start that reverse sweep into Diamond Hands like Simplicity last week? We'll find out in just a few. Don't go anywhere. This is HeroesCCL presented by Wisdom. Welcome back, Valera mains, to HeroesCCL presented by Wisdom. My name's Bahamut, joined by Grubby and Justing, and we had a nice little break there getting ready for map number 3 between Diamond Hands versus Granite Gaming. Justing, I want to get your thought here. Can Diamond Hands close us out in a 3-0?
Yeah, I'm hoping for Diamond Hand's sake that they do 3-0. I'd like to see more games, but on the one hand, but on the other hand, Diamond Hands is a roster that I see as a developmental roster. So for them to be able to start doing so well so early on, with them almost beating Simplicity last week, and if they're able to close us out in a 3-0, I think that really bodes well for them as the season progresses. And I'd like to see another team that I really can put faith in competing for that first place spot by the end of the season. So I'm hoping for a 3-0 on one hand, and also I want to see more games, so I'm torn.
I'm right there with you, and I'm sure Grubby is as well. What does Granite Gaming need to do, Grubby, to take this next map?
Very difficult question, Bahamut.
right? Just give us the playbook. Oh, okay, all right. Well, if that's the case, then I think we can find out what map we're going to be heading into for our third map of the day. I'll let you think about that one, Grubby. We'll let you break down the draft, or at least draft 4 at Granite Gaming here. But we are getting into Cursed Hollow for map number 3. This is going to be the map choice of Diamond Hands, as Granite Gaming, the losing side, has opted for first pick. And for anyone wondering, we've already seen Battlefield and Shire, but we have loaded in to this Cursed Hollow map, and macro is the real big consideration, in my opinion, getting into Cursed Hollow, Grubby.
Yeah, for sure. I still wonder where those days went, where you would always go a Nubarak Greymane first on this map. Yeah. It used to be the way to play it. You got the camp taking, you got the side pressure. Seems like that kind of got replaced by a Nubarak still. He's a great replacement for a Nubarak. And Sylvanas and Falstad and Lunara. Those can all push well, they can take camps, but they also have a little bit more utility than Greymane's pure raw damage output.
Trying to think, Justin, we've seen Stukov banned in all of the games so far today, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wonder. Yeah, please.
Oh, yeah, Stukov and Brightwing have been pretty much just not available for either team, and something they haven't banned either of them yet, so that means that at least one of them is going to be available. Ooh. It's smart that they leave them both up.
Is on the side of Diamond Hands? I'm curious if you could elaborate further.
Yeah, it's smart that they didn't ban either of them here, since Granite didn't ban them, so now both teams should be able to trade the Brightwing and the Stukov, which is... I'm expecting to see a Stukov picked up here on the side of Diamond Hands. These two supports were previously banned in each game in this series, and were extremely powerful in our games yesterday.
Which would you have if you were drafting, you're back into CCL and you got picked up by Diamond Hands? Which one do you want? Because you're on the side of Granite. Which would you go for?
I think, well, they do value... Wow, that's very surprising that they just forego it completely. I wouldn't be surprised if Diamond Hands is looking to do something weird with like a Tracer or something that pairs well with the Malfurion, maybe Vala composition. Picking Malfurion with this much priority is very, very weird, especially when Stukov is up. And Stukov would have matched extremely well into Diavolo as well with the Super Strain at 16. Very weird. I'm hoping that Diamond Hands has a strategy planned for this, because otherwise it's just kind of bad draft etiquette, I guess, in the current meta to leave that up.
It's just rude, plain rude, not picking Stukov.
Wish I was looking around my desk if I had a yellow card handy by chance, but I don't, unfortunately, so can't give a yellow card to Diamond Hands. But this Lunara ban, I like it a lot. I think the Wisp, as Grubby was mentioning in map number 1, is just gives you so much information. as well as just the overall burst and poke potential. But there's going to be the goalie, as Justin has called them. Junkrat will not be in this game. But I want to see... Oh, I was actually going to start poking you, Grubby, and saying, like, what are you thinking here? But what are you thinking as we have this draft unfolding?
Okay, I agree that regrowth and innervate is nice for Vala. She gets mana issues.
Mm-hmm.
And that's nice with Malf, but it still feels like griefing, skipping the Stukov. But we'll see, Valamar, he's a fantastic healer player, and he's one of the few that is still picking Uther a lot, which gets him a big thumbs up in my book, since people don't take Uther enough. They're always afraid of sustained damage or whatever. And now you've got Malfurion into Zeratul. I don't like that matchup as a Malfurion. Stukov, he's fine. Uther would have been fine, but Malf is so abusable, and you pick him that early in the draft, I don't like it. Tyrael's hard to play. We've got Polymorph, Shadow Charge, Overpower. We've got maybe Wandering Cake, Grenade. Is he gonna land big Sanctifications? Is there anyone to Judgment really here? Do you have follow-up for Judgment? I feel like Diamond Hands kind of shot themselves in the foot. Well, let's see how it goes. What do you think, Justin?
Yeah, it's I definitely agree with pretty much all of that. It's the draft from Diamond Hands is definitely not ideal, I'd say, against what Granit has drafted. Granit's gone for a very aggressive composition. I'm kind of curious if they maybe were planning on originally thinking about picking that Tracer up until they saw the Diablo Tychus come out. Brightwing is annoying enough for Tracer, but all three of those combined is really, really rough. And they went with the Vala, which doesn't match up too well into Zeratul. Also Tyrael, like you said, unless they go Judgment, which is pretty unlikely. Tyrael doesn't really do anything to Zeratul. Zeratul loves the draft that Diamond Hands has picked from his perspective. He should be kind of free to do whatever he wants. Draft-wise, I'm heavily favoring Granit in this game. That being said, Diamond Hands does seem like the better team. I'm hoping that... I mean, they did get reverse swept in this exact position last week, so we might be seeing a repeat of that. Maybe Diamond Hands has got doing a bit of a double bottom as it were here, and they're gonna bring it back from last week. But I'm hoping not. Granit's comp really scary though into what Diamond Hands has drafted.
I'm struggling to try and choose a side, but we'll elaborate this further because we are loaded in to the map here. And Justin, thank you for breaking things down. We'll see you after Curse Hollow, and we are into this. Let's see if the members of Diamond Hands can take the 3-0 through Curse Hollow, because we are here and they are on the left. We got Caesar Salad on the Tyrael, Kalsir on the Hogger, Cop Filth on the Vala, Nintori playing the Urel. We'll be seeing Valamar on the Malfurion. Over in the red, we are going to be looking at the side of Granit Gaming, trying to reel things in, trying to take us to that map number 4. G on the Zeratul, Skoog on the Tychus, Swamp Grotto on the Chen, X-Ray on the Diablo, and Henning playing the Brightwing. Grubby, I'm not going to lie, I'm a little torn. I'm not really sure exactly who I lean into. Granit Gaming, they got a really... terrifying draft. There's so much really cool things to do and to execute. And as we talked about on map number 1 on Battlefield, I had said, Granit Gaming, they have the easier to execute composition, but they weren't able to do so. But we have this Tyrael, which I'm not really super convinced on the side of Diamond Hands. Tyrael is strong in CCL. I feel like there's better tanks. There are stronger options. But I have to lean into Diamond Hands. I want to get what you think in this Curse Hollow map as we're kind of doing some starting rotations.
I think there's also a little bit of concern for Gia here to be playing on Zeratul. Most Zeratuls have trouble to get it done. He is going to go for the cleave build, but we can see that Singularity Spike miss. There's going to be some issues, be it ping or just difficulty of play for Zeratul in general. And he's going to go for the Cleave Void Prison build. So it is going to be wombo combo. And again, granted, not the best team synergy per se or rotations. It is also a little bit of a hard comp for them. Tychus is no hypercarry hero. So the rest of the damage is going to come from Chen and Zeratul. And they still have to beat through Urel's Disruption, Tyrael's Shields, as well as Malf's Roots and Moonfires. We've got a team here that is very short range from Granit Gaming. That means Malfurion is going to hit multiple Moonfire procs with a single Moonfire. This is going to be a lot of mobbing and bodies pressing against each other and elbowing. That actually makes Malf have a lot of burst heal. So while on first sight, I hate Vala or Malf into Diablo and Zera. I think these are really bad matchups. Vala into Diablo, Vala into Zera, Malf into either one of those. When I look at the player level and how it's also not super easy for Granit to play their comp, look at this. Valamar's Moonfires are insane. Vala should not have survived that at all. Valamar kind of smurfed it.
Yeah. I think you nailed this on the head, and I want to point this out as well. Because of the stacking or mobbing or bodying that Granite Gaming kind of does to group up a little bit in these dives, that does absolutely give Valamar the opportunity to hit these thick Moonfires, if you will, and get that healing necessary. And this is, we didn't even talk about this, Grubby. It's Creed of the Hunter for Vala, so Gia and friends really want to reset these stacks on Vala to reduce her gambit, but they just can't do that just yet. And there's been 2 opportunities where Gotfilth could have died, but the healing from Valamar, the speed of Caesar Salad, the shielding of Caesar Salad, I'm starting to see a little bit more why this TRL came in. It's not because they want to tank, it's because they want more utility for the safety of Vala, and I'm very much starting to feel a lot more happy about my Diamond Hands prediction with X-Ray stepping forward.
Yeah, Gotfilth is getting a lot of damage in here. He doesn't feel a lot of the fear that he should be with people kind of targeting him, grenading, and then poking him. He's got that shield, he's got the Valamar, he's got the extra mana. Meanwhile, we have a HeroesHearth push mid that Gia is left to defend. Even as Chen has to deal with the top siege camp, macro advantage here. He's gonna get saved too, isn't he? This is getting ridiculous, honestly, because Gotfilth gets so many stacks out of that too.
Exactly, and I'm actually going to start taking note of how many times Gotfilth should have died. That I believe should have been the 3rd time Gotfilth died. I do like the build with the Death Dealer. You get the cooldown reduction on Vault by 5 seconds as a passive for that level 4, and that moves your Vault to a 5-second cooldown. We also will be seeing that Hot Pursuit, some more sustainability or movement speed to disengage in this bottom lane. But Diamond Hands, they are kind of taking a note out of what I feel like is the Simplicity book and just hard pressing bottom lane. Simplicity played this tactic against Diamond Hands last week in Game 5 in that reverse sweep composition, in that reverse sweep matchup. Oh, Gotfilth, you should not be able to do this right now, but
Gia missed the Singularity Spike again. 100% you die. That's a 3.5 second slow from Zeratul. It's bonus damage. He misses it again, and yeah, that could have been 2-3 deaths so far for Vala. Like I said, not easy to play on NA server from Sweden. I don't really like to talk about ping at all, but
sure,
like, you still make that choice to play Zeratul here. And again, he's probably picking it mostly just for the Wombo combo. If they can get a kill in lane, that's a bonus. Still a pretty weak perspective to pick a hero from.
And speaking of ping, I'm going to be curious next weekend when Lauber will be actually playing from West Coast ping, or he's going to be in Canada. So yeah, he's going to be in Canada for I think the vast majority of CCL Season 3, so or at least a week or so. I don't know the details. I'm sure someone in chat already knows, but the big thing is he'll be actually playing on NA ping, and this is actually a conversation I had with one of my friends that plays on NA from England, and when he comes to the United States, he's like, I actually struggle because I'm used to mentally having that ping. Nentori should live? No.
Yeah. Nice to follow him on the jump there. He would have, if Samkrota didn't time that correctly, he would have never been able to follow, so nice job by him. Lance from Henning.
But either way, sorry, it's just a little thing, because you had mentioned ping, and I'm like, oh yeah, you know, I'm curious to see how Lauber's going to be feeling about the the less ping that he can be utilizing. It'll be interesting to see, regardless.
Yeah, it shows such dedication to move to West Coast just to play better for the CCL. Lauber, truly an esports professional.
Yeah. He's totally moving to Canada. I think it's like a long vacation. I have to ask him about it, but regardless, let's talk
CCL. Let's not mince any words here.
Oh, you must know something I don't. I guess the commissioner's giving you more details than me. But 10 talent here already achieved on the side of Diamond Hands. Sanctification. We got that Tranquility as well. Excuse me, Twilight Dream for the Malfurion. But Vala Hogger holding, and we'll see trade onto bosses for top and bottom. On the opposing side, do we get Wandering Keg, or is it going to be Storm, Earth, and Fire?
Well, let's see. With Apocalypse, I feel like Storm, Earth, and Fire is better. Keg, though, would be an alternative way of disruption, boss control. You become unstoppable, so you can even go through Holy Ground, which is really interesting, which is, of course, part of the reason why Tyrael would be picked on Cursed Hollow in the first place. One, empowering Vala with shields and movement speed. Great. Sanked when it gets off, great, bonus, didn't get disrupted. But it's very much about that level 13 holy ground as well. Wandering Cake will do boss controls, and it's those level 18 plus bosses that have the potential to end games. So you better come prepared with the right tools, or you're not going to be able to close out the match when it matters.
89 stacks on the Vala right now, and this will be also 87 souls for the Diablo. He's picking up a few more to finish out that Black Soulstone Revival. We have 2 out of 3 objectives to the side of Diamond Hands, 1 out of 3 to our Granite Gaming crew. And before, oh wait, hold on, Wondering Keg, they're going to try and bop Valimar away from Vala, but Vala and Valimar, they should be fine. Tyrael comes in, Aldrin's might forward. There's a silence from Malfurion, Sanctification utilized as well. Brightwing on the far side of this. There's going to be a strafe from Vala, and Malfurion goes down. That gives souls to Diablo. Hogger looking for the bounce. Did use the shockwave already as Righteous Hammer from Yrel bops back the enemy team. Henning able to tap well, and that'll be another kill to Granite Gaming. Second kill overall of the game to our red side.
Could have / should have been 5 kills already, but still good for them to get the first 2 kills of the match. They're down a tribute, trying to get Tyrael. Zeratul chasing, a little bit more damage on Caesar Salad, but it's Kelsier who actually is in position here to take it.
And Curse comes through. Do you want to get into some comms here, Grubby, to listen in how they're going to play this Curse? Into Diamond Hands we go?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Probably mid.
Oh, they're on us, they're on us.
Just these 2. I'm going on Henning, actually.
I've been over Ontario.
Yeah, I go on that. You speed if you go.
Brain slowed down by you.
Diablo's mid.
Just behind me here. I'm gonna join you guys.
Alright.
Okay.
I kind of like looking here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go mid.
Good job getting the wave. They're gonna go on Valimar. I'm gonna help you.
Me.
Oh, Valimar needs help. It's
I'm
just
coming.
Coming. Okay.
I have speed for you out of that if you need it.
They're gonna be fine.
Yeah, big speed. Back up. Wait for Hog. Sanctin.
I volt.
I'm probably dead.
Shield in 1. Stay. VP.
I dream. He can't VP.
Yeah. Zeratul.
Reverted.
Alright, I messed up. I called my Sank VP. Shield in 1 after I get this mana.
Just get the wall here.
Group on me for shield.
Yeah.
Big damage.
That goes in, I can stun him.
Yeah, me too.
How long I innervate?
10 seconds.
Can we get that camp with Hog?
Yeah, let's go.
We can.
We
Oh,
Good.
I'm sending it.
We're a little split. Right now.
Nice, that's huge. Mid's low. Do you want to press up with these bruisers?
I don't think so. We're kind of low.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, that's just kind of.
Maybe we can now, honestly. No
Yeah.
Get the globe.
Maybe we catch him.
I almost cut him off a little.
Shield in 1.
Oh, careful. He doesn't have APOC. It's fine.
Oh,
I have speed for whoever needs it. I'm speeding Malf out of this.
Yeah, mouth. 0.
Oh, Chen's running.
One Chen. No keg.
Yeah, hitting Chen.
Innervate material.
I stun.
Bro.
I get him.
I'm gonna get Chen. Yeah.
Take us.
Oh, it's big.
Nice.
We
Have a
post
shockwave if they go in.
Yeah, we post up here.
We have signed to dream up soon.
I could go bot camp. Maybe we can play end actually. I mean, we're so.
up.
The collapse and the shot calling, Grubby. Oh, I love it from Diamond Hands.
Yeah, really good. Like they knew Apocalypse wasn't back 35 seconds, right? Still on cooldown, but you know, would we know that in Storm League that it's still 35 seconds? I wouldn't. So obviously 35 is a fairly big window. It's not like it was 7 where it could be iffy. But still, really good. They knew the threads possible. Another Wandering Keg coming in here. Yrel might actually be in trouble. There's no mid-keep though, but he's getting pushed into the core. Uses the absorbing. Oh,
that's a full bar.
Absorbing while minus 75 armor from the core, so he's actually taking bonus damage. Actually, 5 head bonus damage, therefore bonus healing. There's the Twilight Dream, the Righteous Hammer from Nintori on Diablo. X-Ray gets taken down. Godfilth dropping real low. Boom, he's dead. That's his first death of the game, mind you, chat. As Swamp Grotta is left marooned on a lonely island, they're gonna try and take him down, but some excellent heals from Henning.
That was insane tech from our from Nentori to utilize the negative armor to heal more, and the VP comes through. There's the Apocalypse underneath it. It seems like Granite Gaming will be able to clean up the enemy team. Righteous Hammer not getting the disengage they were expecting, Interior able to back away. But what was gained by the side of Diamond Hands, Grubby, and what was gained by the side of Granite Gaming in this bottom lane mid push it? Fight.
Diamond Hands got the 2 keeps, right? The first keep, they already had it. They went for the bottom keep, and then they actually got isolated. Yrel went deep because she got kegged, and that mattered. He had to save himself, and then they kind of stepped up trying to extract her. It would have been best in hindsight to kill the keep and then head back. But let's look at all the potentials again. We've got a replay. Love that production coming in this season as the replay begins. Here's that situation. We're at the bottom keep. Okay, it's dead. Sanked. You could just leave. If they get the Diablo kill, still, you could just leave. Vala actually falls forward, takes all the damage in the world from Odin. I think that was just Godfilth getting a bit too greedy. Yeah. Even if you don't leave, as long as you don't vault forward and try to get some Death Dealer poke damage in, you're fine. With her E down, kind of started the beginning of the end. And this is just overconfidence, right? Like, he legit believed he was invincible. And I don't mean that in a facetious way. Like, he actually thought he was invincible, like he's 7 years old again. Because he's been getting away with so much trouble earlier on in the game. That was just a little bit of an int, right? Not actual literal int, but kind of an int. And they could have got out at any point. They got the kill, they got the double keep. It was basically unlosable. They could have gone double boss, would give them 1 or 2 tributes, but now it's boss plus curse to Granite, which gives them a reprieve. Like, they're treading water. It's not like they're swimming to the other shore yet. So let's see how it goes. Granite Gaming, they're getting collapsed. They stay with 2 people here. X-Ray's in trouble. Brightwing is still at home. Zeratul Chen aren't here. Why did they stay here when they know there's going to be a defense for the boss?
That was a questionable play from the side of Granite Gaming. Diamond Hands collapsing and finding that kill into the mispositioned Diablo. Phase shift from Brightwing. I thought that was actually going to be a Brightwing phase shifting in and then dying, but here is mid lane actually. Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, no, you said Party Bush, and I was looking to see. It actually kind of seemed like Granite Gaming wanted to take a fight without Diablo into Diamond Hands. Diamond Hands, they're trying to invade camps and make something happen here with Vala still chasing out top.
That's a really, really early keg. And now you can't use it for the camp.
This is going to be camp stolen away. There's a huge shockwave from the Hogger. Brightwing tries to get on the point. There's a spin to win from Kelsey, or the blink out from Henning to back off the point. Camp does go over to our blue team. Swamp Grotto trying to back away, is able to get the flying kick over towards the end of this camp, but the route from Malfurion will be through the Righteous Hammer into the wall, and a stagger death onto Chen as Diablo just now respawns. A camp pushes into mid. This does give some spell armor, 20 spell armor to the members inside that little circle. Yrel diving on top of Diablo. No souls on him. He's a lot more squishier, and this core shielding will start to get scratched. Vala has arrived to the core as well, continuing to dump damage into the enemy team. Nentori pops the Ardent Defender, tanking tower shots from the core, healing almost back up to full HP as the camp's cleared out. Here comes the VP. The silence from Malfurion to mitigate the Apocalypse. You can actually see Diablo starting to go for the Apocalypse with his arms, but he's not going to actually be able to get that heroic off, and the core is falling. Grubby, can the members of Diamond Hands actually close this out? Here's the Apocalypse from the Diablo. We got a lot of damage onto Valimar as the target. There will be a Commandeer Odin, no big red button. Diablo goes down, no souls, so he's full death timer, and this is a Tychus to go down. Diamond Hands won't find the pentakill to end the game, but they still end this series in a solid 3-0 fashion. This was calm, cool, collective, and controlled from Diamond Hands Gaming, or Diamond Hand Esports. Jesus, they were seriously so on point. They had a couple little falters here and there, but I think those were acceptable mistakes that they made.
Acceptable exceptions for sure. Bahamut, you said it. And, there was no holy ground. Tyrael went for that Law and Order at 13. Little point out, by the way, you can't keg through holy ground too. Chat told me, so that's good to remember. Don't play a lot of Chen. But overall, yeah, this is the Diamond Hands that took the 2-0 against Simplicity before Simplicity felt like a woken bear and took it back 3-2. Diamond Hands has been is 3-0 now. They were 2-0 at some point in the series before losing it. They're actually, I think, Justin's dream for them to be a top competitor may actually be realized here with the performance that Diamond Hands is showing.
I gotta get your thoughts here, Justin. We got you back in the mix. What do you think about that last map, Cursed Hollow?
Yeah, I love to see it. Looks like Diamond Hands is trending up. Looks like they're on a bit of an upswing. The beginning of the game, it was kind of reminiscent, you mentioned, of Simplicity, where they had the Vala composition, and they kind of just ran it down bottom. You could tell that Diamond Hands knew a little bit more about opportunity cost than Granit did, because Granit would repeatedly send members bottom, especially Zeratul, and they would just barely not kill the Vala, and they just did that over and over and over again. The Vala was just getting away with just 1 HP over and over, and you guys were saying how many times she should have died, but she didn't. And every time that they make that rotation, they're losing out on where they could be just pushing on the opposite side of the map with their Zeratul. It would have been better for them to accept that they lose that early, and Diamond Hands got a little bit more of an advantage than they probably should have from that early game. That strategy worked out just a little bit too well for them. But then in team fights, they were just very, very coordinated, and Granit couldn't really break their impenetrable defense of their Vala. Valimar played phenomenally that game. He was using himself as bait quite a bit. Granit Gaming really wanted to kill Valimar there on the Malfurion, but he just had too much peel, too much protection, and if Granit didn't combo everything perfectly, they just lost the fight. They just didn't have that staying power. I'd mentioned that teams are drafting a lot more one-shot styles. Not this game. This game, Diamond Hands drafted for that long, sustainy support style composition, and they played it extremely well with the Vala.
It's really, really well played from Diamond Hands. We could sit here and discuss this to end's length, but what we got to do is we got to get Nintori in here right now because we do have an interview with him. So we'll get into that in just a second. I'm excited to ask some offlane questions because Nintori had a phenomenal series here. And Nintori, can you hear us, my friend?
Yes, I can. How's it going?
Well, it's going good for us, but it seems like it's going very well for all of you. How are you feeling after winning that series against Granit Gaming in a 3-0 fashion?
I mean, I'm sure the whole team feels great as a whole, but I mean, even for me, it's been so long since I won a CCL match. So I'm feeling pretty ecstatic against my former team, no less. So feels great.
That's a good feeling right there. I don't want to hog all the questions, so I'll throw it over to Justin for a question or two.
So I could have a million questions, but I guess just from that last game, you went with the Urel. I think that was pretty much the perfect pick for your composition. I wasn't really enjoying the comp until I saw the Urel. I thought that the Tyrael was a little bit weird, but the Urel really, I think, kind of brought the comp together. What made you pick that? And if Urel wouldn't have been available for some reason, what do you think you would have wanted to play in that situation?
It was definitely going to be a bruiser of some sort in that slot. We were actually considering Vikings last pick, but the Zeratul makes the Vikings pick a little less valuable. But I think that double frontline or triple frontline, I guess, you have a tank and then 2 bruisers is like probably the easiest way to play the game right now. It's not very punishing, and rarely the bruisers are like kill targets, so you just kind of have to center all your attention on the Vala and play around the ranged. It becomes very easy.
Thanks. You played it well. That was good.
Yeah,
good series from you, especially.
Seriously, yeah, it was a really good, lot of really good solo lane action from you. Want to also give an opportunity for Grubby to ask you a question as well.
It feels really good to hear you say it's been so long since we won a match, and then getting it finally. That must be great. I know that's a great feeling when it's been a while. Last week you were actually really close. We didn't get to hear from you then because Calamity at the 11th hour. You had a 2-0 lead against Simplicity. Do you still want to talk about that and maybe mention where you think it went well and why it didn't afterwards?
Probably just a little bit of nerves for everyone, I would say. The Simplicity players are really experienced, and then like Helsier's brand new to CCL. I haven't played in like 6 months. And then we kind of deviated from our game plan a little bit. Also saw some strategies from Simplicity that we weren't used to playing against, like the quadruple support stuff. So we'll definitely be able to adapt our playstyle next time. But yeah, they played well. Congrats to them for bringing it back too. I'm sure they were rusty in the beginning, so definitely a very strong team.
You look like a great contender for the top spots now. Definitely keep up your training and your performances. Absolutely great show today.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I have to echo exactly Grubby right now as well. You all had a phenomenal play today and some very, very quick maps. That Battlefield map went very quick, like under 14 minutes. Before I let you run out of here, Nintori, are there any shots that you'd like to give? The floor is all yours.
Yeah, shout out to CCL and the viewers, Twitch chat, donators. Love you guys. Diamond Hands Org for picking me up. They've been super cool so far. Really nice to have an organization and not like a disorganization. So that's been a lot of fun. Our org owner, Chris, is great. And then my teammates and our manager, Key, actually, is like the best manager I've ever had. So if he hears this, shout out to Key. He's amazing.
Yeah, Key is it's a good bean out there, but thank you, Nintori, for joining us for the interview. Congratulations on your victory, and we'll see you next week on Saturday up against Oxygen. Good luck in your scrims practice and preparation.
All right, we're gonna clap them. Bye, guys.
Thank you so much. Well, you heard it here first, everyone. Nintori's saying that they're going to clap Oxygen, so we'll see if Diamond Hands can remain strong into next weekend's Saturday matchup. But we still, Grubby and Justin, we still got another best of 5 today. We're not done. We got 2 best of 5s today, and we're going to get ready for Chili Mountain versus Simplicity. But unfortunately, we do have to take a little bit of a break, and we have to kind of let these players get ready for our next best of 5. It's been a very fun day so far, and as I said, we're not done by any means. We're going to take this break, and in that break, I encourage you to hit !NXT. What is NXT? Well, they are a wonderful sponsor joining us for HeroesCCL Season 3. Next Level Gaming is a Miami Esports center where you can play Heroes of the Storm, and you can also watch HeroesCCL on Saturday and Sunday at their esports center. So if you live in the Florida area, or if you feel like traveling down to their esports center, make sure you check them out, !NXT in chat. And as I said earlier, you also, if you play Heroes of Storm over at the esports center, can get extra experience, 50% increased experience on your account and the games you play there. So NXT in chat, and you can make sure that you, find out everything you possibly can about that awesome esports center. But we've talked a lot about our first best of 5 of the day. We are going to get ready for the second one. Enjoy a small interview with Kyle Ferguson and Legacy in the break, and we'll be back with more HeroesCCL presented by Wisdom.